My mom left me alone in another city to teach me a lesson. My mom always said I needed to grow up. I was only 17. I was still in high school, had never traveled alone, and depended on her for everything. One day, she told me we were going to visit an aunt in another city, 5 hours away by bus. It seemed strange she didn't even talk to that aunt much, but I agreed. We left early. The trip was long, and she barely spoke. When we arrived, she said she was going into a store and told me to wait in the central plaza. I sat on a bench and waited. 1 hour passed, then 2. I called her. Phone off. I started to panic. I searched the park, asked in nearby shops. Nothing. After 3 hours, a woman let me use her phone. I called home. My aunt answered. I asked if my mom had arrived. She said yes, that she was resting. I didn't understand. What? She had left without me? I pressed further. My aunt lowered her voice and said my mom wanted me to learn how to fend for myself, that I should find my way back on my own. I was 17. I didn't know that city. I had no money, no battery. My hands were shaking. I asked a man selling juice for help. I explained what happened. He gave me a charger and some fruit. Then a policewoman took me to the station and let me use the phone to ask for help. My mom didn't answer. I texted her. Nothing. An officer said I could stay there for a few hours, but if no adult came, I'd have to call Child Protection Services. I felt like a criminal, just for learning. After many hours, a family acquaintance showed up. Apparently my aunt had sent her. She took me to the bus station and gave me money to get home. On the ride back, I was in shock. I didn't cry. Not a tear. I just thought about how easy it had been for my mom to make me disappear to teach me a lesson. When I got home, she was watching TV. She looked at me like nothing had happened. So, what did you learn? She asked. I didn't reply. I went to my room, locked the door, and didn't speak for 2 days. The next thing I did was look up how to get my ID as a legal adult. I didn't want to depend on her ever again. A month later, I turned 18. I moved in with a friend. I never went back. 3 days after I moved, she came looking for me. She knocked on the door, crying, saying it wasn't her intention to make me feel abandoned, that she did it to make me stronger. I didn't open. She stayed there for 2 hours, then left. That week, I got a voice message. It was my grandmother asking me to hear her out, that my mom was devastated, but she also told me something else, that when my mom was 14, her own mother left her alone in a nearby city for not doing the dishes. She told me this as if to say, now you understand. But no, that wasn't an explanation. That was repeating the same thing, just 1 generation later. The next month, I got a legal summons. My mom had sued me for abandonment, said I left her alone with no support, and that it was my duty to repair the harm. That's when I realized it wasn't about love. It was about control, about revenge. I never responded again. But it didn't end there. One day, someone from the Ministry for Women came to see me. My mother had reported me as missing and possibly being exploited. They wanted to verify my situation. I showed them everything. Where I lived, that I was studying, that I had a part-time job. I showed them the previous complaint she had filed. They took notes, apologized, but made it clear that woman wasn't going to stop. The police advised me to file for a restraining order. I did. It was approved. During the hearing, my mom yelled that I was ungrateful, that daughters like you should regret being born. I didn't reply. Not a single word. Months later, I got a handwritten letter. No apology, no affection, just a threat. You left me alone. Remember, everything comes back around. I tore it up and threw it away. Then I looked in the mirror for the first time in years without feeling ashamed, because if growing up means no longer being afraid, then yes, I was already grown.